Hey, this is Dylan with Safe Haven Music, and today we're checking out the Dingwall NG3 5-string bass. We've been anticipating being a Dingwall dealer for a long time, and it's finally great to say that we have them in stock now. First, we're checking out the Dingwall NG3 5-string. We have a Black Forest green, and they're satin Ducati white. These basses are absolutely amazing workhorses. You can play with them at home, tour with them, record with them. They'll always be extremely solid and really versatile as well. These basses were initially made for Adam Nolly Getgood from Periphery. This was his signature model 10 years ago. They have them now as one of their best selling models. I have one personally as well, but that is besides this review. These basses are absolutely killer. So as far as body woods, these have an alder body with a 3 to 5 piece quarter sawn maple neck. You have some really straight grain along the neck here. You have this dark chrome Hipshot ultralight tuners and also Hipshot ultralight 1-piece bridges each for each string. Black Forest green color with the matching headstock. 3 etched piece carbon fiber pickguard as well. And your controls. For controls, you have your volume, actually 4-way pickup selector, and the Darkglass tone capsule EQ. This has, instead of your normal bass, mid, treble, this has a bass, low mid, and high mid control. So for the EQ points, you have 80 hertz on the bass, you have 500 hertz on the low mid, and 2.8 hertz on the high mid with a EQ on and off switch. For the 4-way rotary, in the first position, all the way in the front, you have the neck pickup alone. Next, you have the neck and the bridge together in parallel to get more of like a PJ jazz style sound. You have, in the third position, the middle and the bridge position together in series to be more like a Music Man humbucker style sound. And then the bridge alone for your like jazz bass style bridge alone pickup setting. And even on the inside of these pickups as well, they are in a kind of P-based configuration. So you have your first top set of magnets on the top, and then the next split for the bottom treble side. And they're actually neodymium magnets as well. This has a 9.5 radius. One thing to note that most people don't really mention on these basses is that actually the nut is rolled off on the edges of the nut itself. So when you're actually playing, if you're playing in like first position up here, usually you'll find with most other fan fret basses, they don't round it off. They keep it squared off. So when you're actually playing up here, it kind of digs into your finger. As soon as you get used to it, if you're playing up here, it gets absolutely seamless. It doesn't really, you don't really mind it at all or even notice it. With the neck shape as well, they call it their medium thin C. If you've seen Sheldon Dingwall himself talk about it, he said that they actually have this neck shape from an ellipsis, which is basically spreading a circle as thin as possible and getting the curvature of that thickness. On the back, you have Nolly's signature on the back, along with, of course, Adam Nolly Getgood's signature, Dingwall, and you also have probably the best battery compartment you'll ever find at any instrument at all. You have an actual magnetic battery door. Holds 2 9-volt batteries for the 18-volt preamp, and it's so strong that you could even have it pull back that quickly with how high the magnetism is on that. Now we're going to go through each pickup selection just to see what kind of sounds you get out of it. For our single chain, we're going through my Origin Effects Cali 76 compact bass compressor into my Quad Cortex, going through a high watt bass amp model. So first we're going to go through the neck position itself. We're going to turn the EQ off and just volume all the way up. Now we're going to go to the neck and bridge in parallel. Now we're going to do the middle and bridge in series together. Now just the bridge alone. Now we're going to mess around with the EQ a little bit. Let's go back to the neck. Turn the EQ on. With the EQ on, it does have a little bit of a more push sound. I kind of prefer the EQ on, even if it's just flat alone. So, neck position, EQ flat. Now for the middle and bridge in parallel. I kind of like it this way too with the EQ on, and if you want to have more of a pronounced B with the bass itself, then it'll be a lot more clear. Now for the middle and bridge in series. And the bridge alone. Now we'll go back to the neck position, mess around with the EQ a little bit. I'll boost the bass first. What I like about the bass control on this is that even if you crank it, it's not like super overpowering. It's not really boomy. It just brings the bass up and just makes it honestly a little bit sweeter. Yeah, it just makes it really hi-fi, so of course. Now let's try the mids. Let's boost the mids all the way up. and mids all the way down. And we'll try boosting the treble, or the high mids. It's not going to bring it up too high because it'll be a little bit too spiky, but let's see. And let's duck them now. All the way down. What's really cool about these basses too is that if you're not familiar with Dingwall, of course they're all exclusively fan fret, but they all come with these really, really tiny, like banjo size frets. Not too many people are too aware of these when thinking about these kind of basses, or just basses in general. When you have a smaller fret, you get more of the tone wood coming out of the bass itself. So you're going to hear a lot more nuanced tones. It's not going to be your normal type of like metal style bass that has, like, of course, like all the right woods, but the neck itself has these really huge, like either stainless steel frets or jumbo nickel frets, and usually that takes up a lot of the tone. And when you add that with an EQ, the EQ becomes a little bit unusable, because then if you're trying to work the treble a little bit, if you're trying to make it brighter or darker, it's always going to be bright in some kind of respect. So with the small frets along with the EQ on here, and especially the Darkglass tone capsule EQ, when you have control over the high mids, you're able to kind of dial in exactly how bright or what kind of dialed in tone that you want to have without it getting too peaky or anything like that. It's really cool to see Dingwall kind of come into the light now with a lot more new artists, because they've always been known with metal bass. A lot of metal bass players have always played these basses for like the last like 10 years, getting known through bands like Periphery, Northlane, even now Spiritbox. But they're also coming to be known in a lot more of their non-metal communities in terms of like classic rock or blues or even jazz. Lee Sklar's been using Dingwalls for the last like 20 years, since the late 90s or early 2000s. He has his own signature model now. Even Stu Ham and Tony Levin, which were longtime Fender users for a long time, have now switched over to using Dingwall basses too, which is kind of crazy to think about. They've always been legendary bass players and always known to be using their Fender basses for a long time, but for them to switch over to Dingwall is kind of a new statement for a lot of bass players around. They've kind of becoming the new industry standard for really good bass. And if you think about it too, it is kind of like a hot rodded Fender because you're dealing with similar kinds of woods. It's still an alder body. It's still a maple neck, and with the pickup selections too, still very Fender based. Even inside the pickups themselves, with them having the same precision pickup magnet layout, it's very Fender influenced, but it takes that same influence and puts it on its head to make a really really balanced and well-rounded instrument for any type of music that you want to bring it to. This has been Dylan with Safe Haven Music. Thanks for checking out the Dingwall NG3s with me. This is the first of many, and you'll be seeing more videos of us getting more Dingwalls and doing more videos with them. So if you like what you see, like the video, share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.